So we are in the last module here, which talks about implementation and audit, which actually completes the maintenance process and sustainable 5S system installed in the organization, which can give you an ongoing benefit throughout the future years. A typical implementation process should actually address various steps of implementation. Steps 1, steps 2. Maybe also there are some checkpoints in between so that you also know that you are moving in the right direction. Look at these 4 phases of implementation. First one is phase 1, where, as we already have discussed in the first module, you will see that a low-lying fruits, the benefits which can easily be achieved from a 5S process, can come through a reactive approach, where you try to identify across the organization what are the weak areas related to 5S and what are the strong areas. Pick up all these weak areas, identify the problem, and quickly fix the problem, and later maybe it could become an input for your development of your risk which are related to the 5S. Maybe the P, the planning process. We try to launch the program. Maybe you also decide which are the various zones or work areas which has to be addressed, and the nomination of the people responsible for that particular zones. Try to describe the boundaries of each of the zone, and make sure that maybe one of the senior most or the top management of the organization, like a CEO or like an MD or a president, can send a message or send a launching circular, or even you can have a open platform where the announcement of the launch can be practiced, and make sure that all the employees in the organization, whoever it is, permanent, temporary, contract, casual, trainees, apprentices, or even students if they are having, or even visitors, involve them, or even customers. Sometimes in some of the sites even the customers could be there. Involvement of 100% of the organization staff is a very important requirement for implementation of a good 5S system, ultimately giving you the benefits what we have discussed through the courses in various modules before this. So all work areas to be included, there is no exception. You cannot say that so security is something different or MD's office is something different. No, everything, canteen, toilets, work areas, reception area, and transformer area, DG sets, storage, or even transport yards. So whatever is the activity within the organization, try to include them and create a zone coordinator who will actually be the accountable person for that particular zone, who can create cells within that zone if it is a big company, or you can have a zone and zone leader. In a smaller company you can start off only with the cells, and a bigger company you can have zones. Below that you can have a second level of cells, and each cell is managed by a cell leader who will be responsible for ensuring that the particular cell has the complete 5S implementation installed in the organization. Phase 2 will be to look at the implementation. Maybe you can even go into all those 5S implementation plans which are the responsibility of the respective teams, cell or cell leaders, cell members and cell leaders, and who will go through all these 5S's and then make sure that these are implemented. Maybe in between you also have a review process where the overall progress of the 5S implementation can be monitored. There could be a senior level coordinator or a quality assurance manager who will actually give the direction and also review. And then we need to also audit. We already discussed in module 4th years that the audit process is required. We'll also discuss about the audit process at a higher level in a much more detailed way. Evaluation we have already discussed. Then the status reports. So zone wise submit a status report to the zone coordinator. Reports are collected, aggregated, and presented to the project coordinator. And progress review, somebody at a senior level, zone wise, maybe there is a zone coordinator as well as the cell leaders can meet together and review how we are moving ahead, where are the weak areas or which are the strong areas. Wherever we are done well can be a benchmark for other zones or cells to look at it, go there and visit and find out how they are doing it, learn from good practices, also learn from failures and negative practices. Then based on this audits, based on the review, we can set goals. Overall target can be set now. Sometimes here you also try to define what are the metrics, what are the key performance areas, and those key performance areas can be identified and they could be implemented in the identified, and they could be defined as a measurable quality objectives or measurable 5S objectives. So target percolations throughout the organization. So try to make sure that each and every process owner or each and every cell leader has the clear idea of what is objective or what is a goal which they have to achieve, and meeting the goal or not meeting the goal could be a very good measure of how we are progressing. And then there should be some MIS plans. What are the actions implementation planning, regular tracking system, and regular review of the plans necessary. Make sure that these plans are going back to the implementation and change your implementation plan if something is not effective. Typically, example of how these 5 steps will work, 5 steps of implementation will actually work with an example. This is something which may happen sometime during the planning stage, which we talked about here. Sometime above we were talking about the various planning process. So the planning process can actually on the 5 S's which we have, and this could be a guidance which we already have talked about. And once the planning process is over, then we start with the auditing process. So try to prepare a customized checklist based on each and every department and address all the 5 plus 1 S: CRE, CATON, CSO, CFSO, Shitsuke, and Shitsuku. Maybe a status report could be something like this chart, a chart here, and find out where we are good, where we are bad. So in this chart, if you see, we are good in systematization, but we are not very good in self-discipline. So address those gaps and see how the scoring tells you where we stand. Look at a typical checklist here on each of the S: sorting, systematizing, sanitizing, sweeping. Some of the examples in a office area could be different from the other workshop areas. So you may have to have a customized checklist either for office separately or for canteen separately, security or a gardening or any other areas separately. Try to find out how we go about doing that, and then prepare a checklist and make sure that these checklists are used for your audit. If the audit is complete, maybe a repeated process of auditing will actually ensure that you are to some extent comfortable in implementation of the system. Practice it and see how this can happen, and you're welcome to go back to the welcome to go back to any of the other modules and review that again if you find there are issues. There will be a final examination, as you see. Once you close this, you will have an examination coming up, and make the examination and then complete the process, get the certificate, and implement the system effectively in your organization. So thank you very much for your consistent effort on learning these 5 years. I'm looking forward to your feedback, and you can also refer if you really look forward to any other further information which are required in this particular topic. We will be ready to share that with you. So that is the end of the course. So then we look forward to uh, looking forward to maybe future courses which you would like to do with Sandit. Thank you very much.